So the boys wanted some skateboards, so I found these three for 20 bucks on Marketplace. Look, they're just your average skateboard, nothing special about them, but as far as my boys go, having three boards that they can trash and doesn't mean too much. For their beginner boards, leave them out in the rain, take them through puddles, leave them in the park, get stolen, doesn't matter. 20 bucks for three boards is a pretty good deal. So I just want to fix up a couple of things on them. Skateboard bearings are always an issue because people leave, like I said, boards out in the rain or go through puddles or go through dirt and shit. So here's a quick test. It's not a bad one. Right, wheel's spinning, nothing big to look at on the wheel, but it's spinning around. Right on over here, that one spun about one turn and stopped, and that one's got some stuff on it, but that's not even spinning. Check it out. That's jammed up. That's probably why the guy wanted to sell them. So all I'm going to do is pull off the nut, pull out the bearings, give them a bit of a clean. We'll also clean down the trucks on here. Got a lot of videos. Clean down the trucks on here, pull the bearings out, give them a bit of a clean, put them back together, and I'll give you an aftershave. Thanks. Righto, it's a 13mm socket. 13mm socket goes over there, and you just crank it until it comes off. Alright, so that took all of about, I don't know, 5 minutes. Took the nuts off, took the wheels off, popped the bearings out, gave them a quick squirt with some lubricant, spun them around, dried them out with an air gun, and then back together, and she's now spinning. Back ones are still a bit retard, like that. Still a bit. Spinning where it wasn't before. Alright, those bearings in this one are completely stuffed, which will pull the board off a little bit, but with a bit of weight on it, you can learn how to go up and down the street. And then this board is not fantastic, but that'll do for a first one. Righto, second one. So I get, there it is there. I get about 2/3 of a spin, a bit more, almost nothing, and yeah, a bit of a spin. Righto, we'll see how we go with that. I wonder if that'll work. There you go, nothing like a hammer to be a stand for a phone. Look at that. Let's see what it looks like. So same 13. Off they come. Nut, bearings. Here's the truck. So I'm just going to put the truck back in the hole, about a little bit of a way into it, a couple of mil, and then just crank it until the bearing pops out. There she is. And on this one, dirty as dirty. Look at how dirty that is. And there's some writing which was on the inside of the wheel, so just important to remember that. Out they come. Oh look, there's a spacer in there too. Spacer on the inside of the bearings. Again, these are probably like $20 boards from some supermarket somewhere, but 20 bucks for three, better than nothing. So simple, just give it a bit of a squirt, and let's soak for about 5 seconds, and then we'll just give it a bit of a clean off. So there's a gap. There's a gap in the bearing around the edge. That's just full of gunk and shit. So hence why that's not spinning. Give that a bit of a clean out, and then we'll put it back together. A bit of a blow dry. Right, and that's the wheel, and I'm just picking the dirtiest side and putting that out. Dirtiest side out on the assumption that that's the bit that got dirty. That pops in, And then there's a spacer, and this wheel that pops down the middle. Don't have to line that up or anything, because the truck will line it up. And dirtiest side out. And then I just pop that onto the truck. Wiggle, wiggle, push, push. There you go. Spinning like new. Which for this board, again, dodgy as. But as a learner board goes, it's straightforward. Alright, so I'm cracking that on, and as it goes on, that'll crack the bearings into place until I can't do it anymore, and then I'll undo it. I undo it about 1/8. So, you know, think back to school, half, quarter, 1/8. Give it a bit of a wobble, and she's spinning. Nice, a bit more. Alright, so the wheel's actually a bit wobbly, over exaggerated. It's doing this, it's wobbling on the axle, so I'm going to have to tighten that up just a touch, just a tickle. Better than it was. And that's the same process all the way around. Alright, it's the same thing. So this was the graffiti board. Did exactly the same thing. Took the nut off, took the wheel off, popped the bearings out, cleaned them, and put them back in. I didn't pull the bearings apart or anything. Like, I didn't pull the ball bearings and the races out. I just cleaned them off with a brush. Sprayed them with some lubricant, and then blew them out with the air hose. And then that was it. Instead of having wheels that didn't move, I've now got, where are you? There. Wheels that roll. Taking the nut off. So stuck on there, the bearing's stuck on, it wouldn't even come off. Righto, rusted onto the truck. It's probably my most dodgy bearing yet, rusted. Again, I'm just going to give it a clean off with a brush. That's a spacer. And spray it with some lubricant. It's pretty rusty. Righto, so I'm probably having to buy a new packet of bearings, given seeing that rust. But we'll put it back together. That'll be enough from after school today to get through it, so I can get a packet of bearings. And I see lots of skateboarders on YouTube talking about bearings. There's a YouTube there about $15 bearings versus $60 bearings. So I am going to buy a pair of $20 bearings, because that's what I can get my hands on nice and easy. And my boys aren't pro skaters, they're just learning. So that'll be enough for them to do their thing. And when they want to buy $60 bearings, they can get a job and buy their own bearings. Well, I might clean up alright actually. Alright, same deal. Get a bit of a soak. I'm not using any special lubricant. I'm just, there we go, she's moving. Perfect. That needs a bit of a clean up. Rusted on. Probably use a washer in there too. Yeah, there's no washer there. Let's have a look. Nut. Off comes the wheel. No, there's just no washer there, so they forgot to put the washer on the truck, which is probably why it's having trouble spinning as well. Easy. Righto, I'm going to clean that up and I'll show you the end result. That's the inside of it before I clean it, just so I thought you might have a look at that. Rusted Can't even see the different components of the bearing, tracks and the races. That's the other side, just tragic. Once more, just because I can put it on the truck, pop the bearing out, and that's the inside, and that's the piece you just saw a minute ago, the outside. There's the rusty bit, so pop it on, pop it off. So rusty, like that, just tragic.
Tragic. Right, it doesn't take much. Bit of a brush. Bit of a brush. Clean it off. Little squirt. Both sides. Turn it around. Can already hear it spinning. That's what it's sticking on my gloves. That one's loose. Good to go. Second bearing. Mounted, rusted, dirty bearings. Doesn't mean it's the end of the world. All you've got to give up this week's frozen peas and corn. Look at that. Alright, spin. Not much. There we go, she's spinning now. Now blow out with the air compressor, which is done at air. Must be funny. No, you don't need an air compressor, I just thought about it. If you don't have an air compressor, just use something else. Hairdryer. Sure, I'm doing something blows air, by pump. Don't matter too much. Needs a bit of a wipe off. Righto, almost there. Which side was which? Don't know, doesn't matter. Let's put it back in. Crack. On. Beautiful. And I'm nut. Until it's tight. Tight. And then come off. 8.
Spin the wheel. A bit more. So that's off about a quarter. Righto. That was the worst one, a bit crusty. So she's going to get another squirt right there. I'm just going to work that a little bit. Righto, so that bearing's toast. It'll do it again for this afternoon, and then we'll go down the skate shop and get a packet of $20 bearings. And the boys can learn how to do it themselves a Savo. In the meantime, these 3 boards good to go. Alright, so spins, not much. Spins, spins, spins good, spins fair, spins fair, spins fair, spins good, spins good, spins good, not good. Righto, so all up, I reckon with one packet of 8 bearings I could probably fix the dodgiest wheels on them. But as far as this afternoon goes, they're good to go. This is the finished product. This was a little blue Barbie doll skateboard. So sanded back, a bit of matte black, and a bit of enamel over the top just to seal it up, around the edges as well. A new bit of grip tape. Figured he's the youngest, he always gets handed down so he can have something new. And rolling, well, there she goes. Righto, good roll. And these are the other 2 where the bearings were not terrible, but not great. Nothing done to them except a bit of bearing love. And same thing on this one. Nothing done to them except a bit of bearing love. Just honky dory. That's not a bad picture.